Welcome to the Pandemonium Witches podcast, where the AD is in the HD, the true crime is as scary as the ghost stories, and the hosts are as cunning as foxes. I'm Kat.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Em.
And I'm Meg.
Now on to the show. Hello, nostrils. Hello.
I was like, I can see you. Can you see me?
Of course I see you. Husband says hi.
Hi, everyone.
And your husband.
Emily waved. Meg is currently working out on the Stairmaster. She's got one of those stair steppers.
Oh, boy.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
It's my gaming headset, and I have a little switch to where I can, just... Oh, let me just...
Mute yourself.
So that way I can just... But you can kind of see.
Hold on. I can't say shit. Oh, man, it was funny.
So I sent the address.
All right, I'm going to go look. All right.
That's an interesting front.
I told you.
It's like they couldn't pick a design.
It's like a hat. It's like if a New Hampshire colonial seaside cape type of house mixed with a Midwestern ranch house and then put a head on it.
Oh my god, speaking of Midwest.
Have you talked to my aunt lately?
Even better. Chris and we did D&D last night for our D&D campaign, just our personal one, not with Sam.
Uh-huh.
And he was fighting another character, and this dude could not land a hit. My character doesn't like him because he married her daughter, had a baby, and hit on her without knowing.
The shade.
So my character is a 68-year-old Midwestern barbarian grandma. Her name is Light Blossom. Because we were at like a fight club, I reached into the person next to me and I grabbed popcorn from like their popcorn bucket, and I flicked a piece of popcorn. I rolled a nat 20 with a modifier of 10, and it hit him right between his eyes, caused 6 damage. And so I was like, oh. So I did it again. I rolled a 28, hit him right between his eyes. Caused 6 damage. Whenever he wasn't looking, I flicked a popcorn kernel. One went into his ear. It's a 28. I rolled a 28 because you need a 24 to hit him. He has a very strong character. I rolled a 6, and then I rolled with advantage because he didn't see it coming.
Uh-huh.
So I got double damage. So I hit him with 12 damage from a popcorn kernel.
Good job.
I just kept pelting him with popcorn. So he went from 64 health to 23 from my popcorn. Because the dude could not land a hit. But I'm over here pelting him with popcorn.
Okay. You guys doing good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Just tired.
You're tired? So, for everybody out there, we've changed our direction. Originally our podcast was a bunch of spooky stuff and a bunch of ADHD fueled content. It's still going to be autism and ADHD fueled. However, we're now doing true crime, hauntings, cold cases, and murder mysteries with a splash of witchcraft once a month. That being said, we also have 3 co-hosts versus 4 now. And we have Rachel.
Hello.
Emily.
What's up?
And myself, Kat.
Three amigos.
Spirit fingers. We're now called the Pandemonium Witches because Pandemonium is chaos. So welcome to the shit show, folks. We're going to get started today. Emily has a surprise because it's Valentine's Day. This is coming out later, but, Emily, what surprise do you have in store for us today?
My favorite true crime case, the Ken and Barbie Killers.
Holy shit.
Well,
I loved hearing about this case when I was younger.
It was all over the news.
It was. And I had saved like this really in-depth like case study.
Mm-hmm.
I have like 2 of them. I actually just pulled them up because I'm like, yes, I want to get my stuff straight. Oh my gosh. I think they're they inspired like 1 or 2 other murders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're very pretty. They're very beautiful, and they lured people into the car with their safety because pretty people don't kill.
That's not.
Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Insert pretty person murderer here.
Lizzie Borden.
Oh, I cannot wait to do an episode on Lizzie Borden.
Did you get Lizzie Borden?
Oh.
Oh. Well.
I don't know. You took all of our lists away.
I thought I gave them back. Hold on.
I haven't looked.
It has been a very, very
long
week.
It's been a very long week. It
has.
No, I gave everybody their access back.
Cool.
I spent 2 weeks combing through the archives of crime journals and other podcasts looking for the worst of the worst when it comes to murderers, serial killers, cold cases, that kind of stuff. Things that other people have covered and they went in depth, but I wanted more. I wanted more information. So when we had a little copyright issue, so I had to delete every single episode because I don't want to get sued. So
Boo.
Probably not.
I don't have a boo one. I don't have a boo button.
Boo. I did it for you.
Yes, you did.
Can you?
So I have everybody divvied up into separate folders. So I have a folder. Emily has a folder. My kid will be guesting on a couple of episodes. River. I have several children who have adopted me as their mother. And that's okay. I am not a mom, and I fully embrace this. I am the bonus mom. I am the mom that gets to get picked by their children. I love that.
Girl, you gave me her so much new information has come out about that case too.
Which one?
I don't like people.
That's my shirt today. Not friendly. Do not touch.
So the Ken and Barbie Killer.
Yes. We totally went off track. Ken and Barbie Killers. ADHD. that one. ADHD. This is a Pandemonium Witches podcast. Trigger warning. The following episode contains graphic violence and gruesome depictions. Listener discretion is advised.
All right.
Okay.
Whew. Oh man, I should probably grab something to wet my whistle, huh?
Well, we do hydrate or dihydrate on this podcast, so you should probably
hydrate or die straight.
Well, we can't have that.
Exactly. So let me grab some water
And
then spend my. Oh, it's raining. Oh, it's raining. It's raining.
We like rain.
Those are three different emotions.
Yeah.
I went through every stage of grief.
It's raining. Oh, it's raining. Oh, it's raining.
Okay, let me grab my water.
Okay.
Oh, I can't do the Monopoly theme.
No. We have waiting music that I'm getting, so you're good.
Is it like elevator music?
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
Good elevator music.
I killed my husband mortally.
I mean, it's a good move. Doesn't look like she killed her husband, but that's
I mean, he had a good run otherwise.
it. Here lies Christopher.
He had a good run while he made it.
He's not dead. He's just sleeping.
Stage.
Mother, it's me, Anastasia.
I don't think I can do that. I might get the Disney lawyers on it. Oh wait, no. Anastasia wasn't Disney. We're
Correct.
Good.
Correct.
We're good.
Was Fox?
It was Fox.
Didn't Disney buy out Fox recently?
They're still in talks, I think.
And look, just to appease Tia.
And she's
Good.
eating.
Good.
Good.
Thank you. It's yogurt. I'll take it.
Hey, it's yogurt with cookie dough.
It is yogurt. Okay. I'll take it.
Ow.
'Cause I can't have yogurt.
I mean, you could.
I mean, I could have yogurt, but then my stomach and my insides might kill me because I'm not allergic to milk. No, I'm allergic to fucking dairy.
It sounds to me like them's quitting words.
I would never. I love my cheese. Everything tomorrow for Super Bowl Sunday is cheese. I'm not a
You
quitter.
mean today?
Yeah, today.
You said
He said
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Look, I'm not a smart woman.
So should I? Hi. Should I talk about this killer case like an airline pilot? Good morning, everyone. I gotta know, did that sound muffled?
Yes.
Yes.
Good morning, and thank you for flying Pandemonium Airways. So, are we going to talk about murder or what?
Yeah, eventually.
Oh,
we
we
tried to
got
start this like 30 times.
we got to wait for the chillin', huh?
Yeah, because
Okay.
she's
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that in front of her. Listener discretion is advised. I have to redo the trigger warnings and everything, obviously.
Oh yeah, that is the thing.
Not for this episode, though, I don't think.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll redo it for this episode.
He drugging
Okay.
essay.
Okay. Just send me a list of triggers and I'll make different trigger warnings for different things. Sound good?
Raven, this one time you're allowed to eat upstairs. You don't need to be hearing about this case.
Next time she can be downstairs because she won't be able to hear it because it'll be in your headphones.
It is in my headphones.
I know, but you're talking.
Oh, yeah. And then I can just mute myself.
Yep.
Okay.
So how about those
So-
dead bodies?
Yeah, okay. So we have the Ken and Barbie Killers. Um, so we have Barbie, quote unquote, who is Karla Leanne Homolka.
Hom- Homolka.
Gotta get the
Yes.
phlegm in the back of your
Gotta
throat.
get the phlegm. Gotta get the phlegm.
And then Ken, who is so much easier to pronounce, Paul Bernardo.
Fernando. Is
Yep.
it Fernando? Fernando. I'm sorry.
So they are both classified as serial killers and rapists.
Both of them.
Yes. So he would do and she would watch, and then she would do and he would join.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Can we just... What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So their victim pools kind of
Was it both
line
men and
up.
women? Or
It was just women from the ages of 14 to 19. That was their victim pool.
14?
Yep. Women and teenage girls who were traveling alone. And typically, if I remember correctly, yeah, right here, their victims, one thing that they mostly had in common was they were all blonde.
Well,
Like for the most part, they all had like the same like build, same color hair.
okay. Now, did they look like Barbie and Ken, or were they going after Barbies?
So they kind of looked like the 80s Barbie and Ken. You know, like the big
Ooh.
hair and all that. They were
Yeah.
very pretty. They were known in the community as just being so nice, so quiet.
Right.
You
Those are the
know,
ones you always have to be suspicious about, though.
they got married actually very young.
They were
too.
married?
They got married, yeah.
Okay.
So she met him at 16.
16.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, 17. I was so near.
In that age area.
In 1987 is when Karla met Paul. She was 17 at the time. He was a high school graduate who was trained in accounting, and she was a veterinary assistant. So when she graduated high school, she wasn't even out of high school yet, and they were dating and they were doing things. They moved to not Cape Cod. They moved into a pink Cape Cod on Lake Ontario, so in a quiet suburban neighborhood. They were a happy and well-adjusted couple, quote unquote. They were very attractive. Because of that, they were dubbed the Ken and Barbie Killers, but also, if you look at them, they looked like it.
Let me go ahead. I'm going to pull up a picture.
But like their backgrounds don't match that of a typical serial killer. So when
They
you
were
think
so
serial
pretty.
killer, yeah, when you think serial killer, you think broken home, dad was abusive, mom burned cigarettes on them. They both grew up middle class, like straight A's in the suburbs, dreams and aspirations, both parents in the home.
So
But
they didn't have anything, sorry to interrupt, they didn't have anything that really constituted as troubling.
Yeah, like when you see serial killers that like chop up the bodies, encase them in concrete, and like just scatter them, you think, oh, they got a traumatic past. No, they had both parents in the home. They were very loved. There was no abuse happening in the home.
Nothing to kind of signify that there was.
Yeah.
Damn.
So their first abduction happened to a 14-year-old in June of 91. And this was prior to them getting married.
This was before they even got married. So they were still dating at this point.
Yeah. So in 1990, Karla began helping Paul find girls that he could, have his way with. According to the trial, some of these girls were actually friends of Karla's younger sister, Tammy.
No.
Tammy herself
Tammy.
on Christmas. So Tammy herself on Christmas was supposed to be Paul's Christmas present at the house.
Wait. Her younger sister was supposed to be a Christmas present?
Yeah, Karla slipped a tranquilizer into Tammy's eggnog.
No, she did not.
And while she was unconscious, they both had their way with her.
That is sick.
And they videotaped it.
No.
They videotaped the whole thing. While Karla's parents were in the next room. They had no idea what was going on.
No, ma'am. Oh my God.
So that was their first,
real
their
big.
Their first abduction was in 91 of a girl named, a 14-year-old named Leslie. She was abducted near her home and was taken to the residence in St. Catherine. She was assaulted for 2 days and then strangled to death with an electric cord by Paul. It was videotaped by her.
That is sick.
He then used a circular saw and just cut everything up, put the body parts in concrete, and then threw it into Lake Gibson.
There are so many things I would like to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that actually goes into their MOs too. So she was like this submissive, sadistic, sexual, she was out of the way kind of thing. He was not. He was very sadistic. He was very dominant. He had to be in control. He could not relinquish that control. He wanted to have control of everything.
Damn.
Oh, that's a new update. As of 2005, Karla was released.
What?
So she was arrested in 93.
Right.
For rape, kidnap, torturing, poisoning, strangulation, and sexual assault, along with 2 counts of manslaughter. She took a plea deal. If she ratted on him, she got a lesser charge.
Of course.
She only got 12 years.
12?
She was found guilty of manslaughter in 93, served her time, and got out on the 4th of July in 2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
He got charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault, 2 counts of kidnapping and forced confinement, 1 count of committing an indignity to a body, rape, kidnapping, torture, strangulation, assault, and sexual assault. They were arrested on the same day. No, he was arrested first. He was arrested on February 17th. She was arrested on February 19th. He got 25 to life. He pled not guilty and was found guilty of everything. He is, as of 2020, still incarcerated and classified as a dangerous offender, unlikely to be released.
I'm glad he's...
Apparently... Sorry, I'm kind of skimming an article about them. Apparently, she has since remarried and has given birth since she's been released.
So they think that she was Stockholm Syndrome. She was groomed.
Okay. I mean, that's... sounds about right.
But when you hear more of the case, it doesn't really,
The evidence doesn't add up.
No.
because they met through a mutual friend. He kind of, yeah, it just, because it says here, she went along with it and seemed to enjoy it.
Ew.
She videotaped it and could be heard laughing on the tapes.
Laughing.
Like I said, the evidence doesn't add up to what she's trying to claim.
The math ain't mathin'.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the first victim was her sister. This is how she looked after.
Jesus.
After her parents found out what happened, they kicked her out.
Well, obviously, I should hope so.
Yep. They said if you leave without, like,
Causing a scene.
we won't press charges kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So there was actually a incident before Leslie called Jane Doe.
There was one prior to her sister?
No, prior to the second victim, Leslie, the 14-year-old that was dismembered and thrown into the lake.
Oh, right.
So, Karla had gone out on the 7th of June with some of her friends. One of them is known as Jane Doe. Goes back home with Karla to keep drinking. Karla then drugs her with Helicon. Once she's unconscious, Karla calls over Paul, who then joins her in R-wording the girl and filming it. She is let go once she becomes conscious again and doesn't seem to recall what just happened to her.
Wait. Where is she getting access to these drugs?
She's a veterinarian assistant.
Shut up!
So she
she's
takes
taking
it from
them
work.
That's sick.
So she's taking all of this stuff from work.
That is just...
And of course, they just, don't notice these things because inventory numbers are not
what they are now back in the
Yeah.
day. Like, everything was written down.
Right.
So she could have just fudged the numbers.
Yep.
Oh, that lot was
smeared it a little
expired.
bit.
That lot expired. I had to take it out.
Yeah.
So, some more information with the Leslie. Now that he's gotten a taste of it. It's like a dog that's tasted blood kind of thing. He just can't let it go. He had told Karla one night that he wanted more and he wanted them to become his sex slaves. So that's when they kidnapped Leslie. He approached her from behind, covered her eyes, stuffed her in a car, and took her home.
What in the fuck?
Once getting home and putting the girl in the spare room, he claimed he woke up Karla. However, she claimed she went back to sleep and was upset in the next morning because it was past the time to walk the dog or something. So the next morning she woke up, she was upset, and she passed the time walking the dog or reading while Paul tortured the girl in the spare room. She had no part in it. That's what she was saying.
She was mad because she had no part in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she explains that she was very annoyed when she leaves to walk the dog to find her two best champagne glasses had been used by Paul and Leslie. I was really mad. This is a direct quote. I was really mad because I took Buddy, the dog, out, and there were two champagne glasses on the dining room table, and we had these really expensive champagne glasses from France, which we never use. He had those out, and the two of them had been drinking champagne from those glasses, and I was really mad. It's just the stupid little things.
Hold on. That was a direct quote?
Direct quote from an interview that she had about the kidnap, rape, and murder of Leslie.
What in the fuck?
What?
Right.
Eventually, she joins in with Paul She explains that when she took her blindfold off and sees that it's Paul and Karla exposing her identity, she told to her, Paul insists they can't let her go because now she's seen her. So we got to tie up these loose ends. So he just starts to choke her with an electrical cord until she's dead. Karla doesn't attempt to stop him. Instead, she just watches as he chokes her to death. Another direct quote was, he went over to her and did the same thing. He strangled her more. And I think I watched that time. So he did it twice. Because what the hell? She's dead anyway.
What?
That still doesn't make it okay.
This does not math.
After they were dead, they put her in the basement to decide how to get rid of her. And then they just decided, well, we'll cut her up with a saw, put her in cement, throw her ass in the Lake Gibson.
Like, and that makes sense.
This is Leslie. So you're starting to see a pattern with how the girls looked.
Right. So they're very pretty.
Very young, very blonde.
Very blonde. As my aunt says it, very blonde. Very blonde.
After their death, they had to lay low for a bit because their wedding was coming up and they had duties such as rehearsals to attend to. So they had to carry on like nothing happened.
Because priorities.
What?
Because priorities.
What? So this is right before their wedding. Okay, hold on. What?
That was right before their wedding. So they got married on June 29th of 91. And this happened on June 15th of 1991. They kidnapped. So 10 days before their wedding.
That poor girl.
So they got married. They rode through a town on a horse-drawn carriage, seeming to be, quote, the depiction of young, innocent love.
Right. Okay.
Leslie was found by a canoeist and reported to police. As Karla and Paul said, I do. The body parts were being retrieved from the lake at the very same time.
How's that for a touch of irony?
So during their wedding night, Karla was upset and annoyed with Paul because he decided to tell her he's the Scarborough rapist.
The Scarsborough?
Yeah.
Okay.
She said that it annoyed her and she felt like it ruined their wedding day and honeymoon and that it could have waited until after their wedding. She then explained that it was the worst night of her life.
There's a lot to unpack there.
And just think that's their technically third victim.
But that was the worst night of her life, whereas these poor girls have had so much worse done to them.
Right.
Which was the worst night of their lives.
Jinx.
So incident 2 is another Jane Doe. So these are ones that didn't want to be, they lived and didn't want to be
identified.
Shit. Yeah.
Okay.
On August 10th.
Wait. Let's go back. They had living victims?
Yes. So these are ones that they assaulted and they had not quite got away. They had gone out drinking. So Karla would take her friends out drinking. Yeah, she'd take her friends out drinking, drug them. They would do stuff to them and then send them home because if her friends went missing, the last person to be seen with was her. So then it's going to start.
Right. Oh, God.
But this one, it's the same girl from before.
No!
Jane Doe from before is invited over again August 10th, 2 months after they got married, with plans to drug her so her and Paul could have their wicked way again. Although things go wrong this time, Jane Doe stops breathing. So they had drugged her too much. Karla phones 911 and there's a recording that she explains her friend can't breathe and needs medical assistance. However, Karla then finds out she's actually breathing, lets the operator know she's okay, and hangs up. And there is no more information on that night.
What? Oh, I just got goosebumps. Oh.
Because, again, nowadays, they still send somebody out.
Yeah. But back then,
They
if you
didn't.
didn't give the
They didn't.
address, so when my mom moved to where I grew up, she had to hand draw a map of how to get to our house for emergency services.
Well, because you lived out in the boonies. You lived out in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly. So in the city, unless you give them an address, they didn't have the technology to track that number.
Especially not in the 90s. Like, they might be able to get,
The general area,
Right.
but that was it.
but like the exact house, you're going from like this whole city down to like maybe a block and a half. How many houses are on a block?
Right.
Especially in a suburb, you know?
Wait, they were in the
Many.
suburbs?
They were in the suburbs. All of this was happening in a cul-de-sac suburb.
Get out! I am beyond disgusted. Tell me more.
So victim number 3
Okay.
is from April of 92. Paul brings Karla. They go out scouting. I should not be so excited about this
Hunting.
case.
They go hunting.
They go hunting. They go on the prowl,
Mm.
looking for another girl to abduct. And they find Christine French, who is 15. So remember, they are looking for girls, young girls who are walking alone. They don't have anyone with them. Back in the 90s, stranger danger, it was a thing, but it wasn't a thing.
We talked about this before. We were all latchkey kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I walked a good 2 miles to my house from the bus stop.
Well, I didn't have a bus stop for my high school, so when I switched from private to public, it was... Hold on. Honey? He's got his headphones on. I think it was like 2 to 3 miles, because it was on the opposite. It was in the ghetto side of San Jose, because, you know, you go 2 blocks and you're in the ghetto.
Oh, that makes my heart hurt.
How far away was our school? Was it like 5 miles from my house?
From my house?
No, from my house. Your house was close. My house was far, remember?
Mine was like 2 miles.
So
So
they don't give a time for when she was kidnapped, but she's 15 and April 16th of 92 was a Thursday.
Okay.
I think she might have been walking home from school.
No.
They don't give a time from when she was kidnapped. They just say that they see her walking, they pull up behind her, they pull into a church parking lot.
Church.
Karla asks Christine for directions as she walks past them. Christine ushers her hands in directions because, you know, she wants to help. But Karla says she doesn't know the area well and told Christine, hey, can you just show me on my map? You know, because maps were big back in the day. So getting a little closer, show me on my map. And so as she gets closer to show her on the map, Paul sneaks up behind her, grabs her, puts a knife to her, and throws her in the car. Due to the commotion, onlookers see something going on, but they just assume it's kids being kids because they're so young, they're so pretty.
Wait, there were
It's
witnesses?
just kids. There were witnesses. So the knife wasn't to her throat. It was more like, if this is her body, like this is her front, it was more like to her back.
Oh my God.
Get in the car.
Oh my God.
Get in the car and you won't be hurt.
Yeah, so it was more like they thought like, oh, it's just kids being kids. You know, there were witnesses. So it goes unreported.
Sick bastards.
No one reports this kidnapping. They take her to the house where the suburbs. Again, white picket fence, Cape Cod house in the suburbs. They hold her hostage there for 3 days and take turns torturing and raping her. She is shown videotapes of their other victims and is made to watch and reenact it. She
Poor
then
girl.
tries to befriend Kristen. Karla tries to befriend their victim, trying to chat at her while Paul is running errands, even giving her like a comfort toy to hold for comfort during her abuse. So like a little stuffed animal. And then they record everything like they did with the other victims. On the third day, on April 19th of 92, she was killed by strangulation by both of them. They both had a hand in strangling her.
Jesus.
Fucking
They then leave her body. They leave her dead body there to visit Karla's parents.
no.
Karla still visits her parents after what they did to Tammy. Upon returning, Paul takes Christine's body and just throws her in a dumpster in the back of a Burlington. And this was Christine.
So she didn't have blonde hair, but she was very, very pretty
Very, very pretty and was alone.
and was alone. I'm noticing a very severe pattern here.
So they tried it again with Jane Doe. And Jane Doe got smart
Good.
and just it was like, you know, I kind of stopped drinking and actually just stopped hanging out with Karla.
Good for her.
Good for her.
It was like, you know, I'm good.
Like, hey, you want to go to the
Weird
bar?
things
Eh,
seem to
you
be
know.
happening
Right.
when I hang out with you. No thanks.
Right.
So 11 days later, Christine's body was found. Witness statements say that they saw two men abduct her in a church parking lot and that they were driving a beige vehicle, and the description of Paul was given. So they thought that Karla was another man.
Wow. If that's not an insult. Jeez.
Because she didn't get out of the car.
Right.
So only a little bit of her head was showing. So like, oh yeah, it was two men. Because obviously
only
a
saw the
woman couldn't
silhouette.
kidnap. A woman couldn't kidnap.
Right.
A woman couldn't be a kidnapper.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
woman would never be a killer.
So a description of Paul was sent out and it was blasted over the news. Like, hey, do you know this person? If you do, call Crime Stoppers.
Sorry. I remember those commercials and just going,
Do I know that person?
right. And then
Have I seen?
and then
have I
skipping
seen
it. Right.
Yeah.
Kind of familiar.
All right. Well, some team. So Paul's friend Van notices the similarities between Paul and the person that was described for the Scarsborough rapist and reports his concerns to the police. He calls up the cops and was like, hey, this sounds pretty familiar. So
Good.
the detectives decide to pay Paul a visit and question him. However, he's not considered a high priority suspect.
Wait, hold on. They meet him, they question him, and he's not a high priority suspect.
He's very charismatic.
So he's Ted
He's
Bundy.
good looking. He's good looking. He's very charismatic. So
He said all the right things.
He said all the right things. So he's a suspect, but he's not like up on the list. He's not like top 10. He's not even like top 20.
So they're probably looking at like rapists and like pedophiles in the area, like people who are actually registered sex offenders. And they're not actually looking at people who fit the bill.
Exactly. And so they decided to just keep on with the investigation, but they put that on the back burner. They're like, you know what?
We'll come back. We'll revisit this.
Well,
Let's circle around.
Like, yeah. And the reports didn't help the fact that they were looking for two men. Because they had misidentified Christine, or the abduction from Christine. Because obviously Karla is not a man.
Right.
So on December 27th, Paul had beat Karla so bad with a flashlight, like swollen eyes. Karla's parents see the state of her face on January 15th, and they just like, you're coming back home. I don't care what you did. You're coming back home. You cannot be with him. And they press assault charges. So while he's in custody, Karla attempts to return to the house to destroy the tapes of their crimes. So she went from like this really pretty.
Right. Oh,
That's
my
her face.
God. It
after
looks like she's
being
wearing eye
beaten with a
masks.
flashlight.
You know, those panda
Yeah.
eye masks? Oh my God.
So he took like one of those old-fashioned like steel, like, and just
Heavy
I know,
metal flashlights.
and just bah.
And a baba. Ba 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 ba.
So following his arrest, he was released
He was okay.
because he was only arrested for beating his wife.
You've got to be shitting me.
They only arrested him for beating her. It was just plain old assault charges. So they released him. However, he had to submit DNA.
Oh, please tell me it gets so good. Please tell me it gets so good.
The DNA samples he submitted matched the samples that they had gathered from all of the crimes of the rapist.
Yes!
So they were like, hold on, take that one off the back burner. Hold on. So he shoots up in priority. He goes from like 55 on the list to number 1.
Okay.
So on February 17th, Paul is arrested at home for the numerous tapes or numerous rapes that he committed in the murders of the young girls. On February 9th, Karla is brought in for questioning and was like, are you involved in this? Don't lie to us. We already know. We don't know.
Right.
Are you involved in this?
Right.
On the 19th, 2 days later, the police got warrants to search the residence and collect as much evidence as the warrants allowed for, which, mind you, this is back in the 90s.
Right.
Right. So the warrants back then said just take everything.
Right.
It's not like the warrants nowadays.
Where it's very specific. You can only search in this area of the home. You can't search anywhere else. Yeah.
Exactly. So they found on the 21st, so 2 days later, they were going through shit and they found the tapes of them sexually assaulting Jane Doe.
No.
And so then they were like, hold on.
Pump
Wait
the
a
brakes
minute.
second.
So on the 24th, both of them. So on February 24th, Karla was arrested as well for the rapes of Leslie and Christine because they found the rest of the tapes.
That's why you don't keep trophies.
Fuck around and find
So-
out consequences of your actions, my dudes.
In exchange for pleading guilty to manslaughter and agreeing to testify against her husband, she took a plea deal for a reduced sentence. The very next day that she took the plea deal, the day after, she filed for divorce.
Well, I
And
mean,
it was granted.
good for her, number one. Number two, she's still sick.
So the next day, so when you are in this kind of predicament, the cool thing, I can't believe I'm saying this about divorce courts. The cool thing about divorce courts is if you're trying to get divorced from like a serial killer, instead of having to wait the 6 to 12 months, if it's a bad enough case, they'll grant it immediately.
Yeah, they'll fast track it.
Really?
Yes. So she filed on like the 24th, and by the 26th, they were divorced.
Wow. Okay, that is quick.
I fucking wish. So she was given a 12-year sentence in return for her testimony. She was hesitant to take it, but upon finding out that her aunt and uncle, she had been staying with, had disclosed to the police that she had confessed about her and Paul in the murders, which implicated her in the murders, giving them solid evidence that she was accomplice. She was like, you know what?
I'm gonna take that deal. It looks mighty nice right about now.
Because everything she had told them, they had written down. And then like 2 or 3 days later, they'd come back up to her and they were like, hey, what were you telling us a few days ago? And recorded it.
See if it would match.
The aunt and the uncle recorded it, or the cops?
The aunt and uncle had recorded it. And they had given that to the cops after she had gotten arrested. Which is why she was like, you need to take this plea deal. It's the best thing you ever going to get. Karla claims that she only acted the way she did because she was a battered spouse. So she had battered spouse syndrome. And that she was terrified of Paul. So she did what he wanted so he wouldn't hurt her. Now, people are split down the middle on that because he does have that assault case against him for what he did to her. However, she also joined.
Right.
And you can hear on the tapes her laughing and saying, oh, do this, do this, do this. Oh, do this, do this, do this. So people are split pretty far down the middle.
That makes it more than just doing it to keep the focus off of her. It's more of you participated in this, you're just as guilty.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the police gained evidence of a victim, but they couldn't identify her. It was originally presumed to be Kristen, but after showing Karla the image, she was like, no, that might be Tammy, but I'm not sure.
I'm sorry?
So you remember what Tammy looked like after everything? Yeah, that might be my sister, but I'm not sure. Turned out it was Jane Doe.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah.
So during the walkthrough, so there is a thing called a walkthrough that if you take a plea deal in order to like put more of the crime on someone else, you have to walk through the crime scene and point out to cops, this is what happened here, this is what happened here, this is what happened here. So Karla went back to her house as the police were recording everything to build a case against her now ex-husband. She directed police to the spots of the house where victims had been. So the police had to take samples from these places to confirm. And it had confirmed that both Leslie and Kristen's DNA were there.
Oh my God.
2 years later. This is 93.
Very well.
This is back in 93. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So Karla was charged with 2 counts of manslaughter and set at 12 years total as part of her plea deal. She was sentenced in 93 for her part in the abduction, rape, torture, and murders. She was incarcerated for the Kingston Prison for Women and was unconditionally released. So released with no conditions, no parole, nothing. Time served. In 05.
I have several things to say about that, but keep going.
Oh!
There's more?
Shit. Yeah, I didn't realize it. Tammy died. Due to Karla's suggestion that her sister was also a victim of her and Paul, Tammy's case was reopened and her body was exhumed for autopsy.
Wait, let's just back it up. When did she die?
She asphyxiated.
Yeah, she died either from choking on her own vomit or due to the chemicals used on her.
Holy shit.
So her initial death being alcohol intoxication was disregarded and changed on her death certificate. So they killed her sister.
But at the time, it was just...
oh, she got too drunk on eggnog.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning new stuff. This is a totally different case study that I pulled up too.
I'm
And Tammy was the younger sister. How old was Tammy? Hold on.
Let's see. They were engaged, so it was after she graduated high school. So Tammy, I would think, was like 15 or 16.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, it did say that. I missed that entire part when I was reading. So going back to the first victim, they invited Tammy over to have a drink with them. So she was at least 21. No, wait, she was the younger.
They were in Canada, so it's a different drinking age.
Oh, okay. Halcon was slipped into her drink to make her drowsy when she fell asleep. They applied more of it to a cloth and held it over her mouth to make sure she stayed unconscious while Paul raped her.
That's how she got the burns.
Once he was done, Paul prompted Karla to join, which she did. As Karla leaned away from her sister, finishing her sordid act, she made a gargling noise. Foam and vomit started coming from her mouth, and she stopped breathing. In a panic, Paul and Karla hid as much evidence as they possibly could and called 911 and tried to resuscitate her. She was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. After a brief investigation into Tammy's death, it was ruled an accidental death, suspecting Tammy had choked on her own vomit from being highly intoxicated.
There's a special place in hell.
Oh yeah, the chemical burn. This story on any other occasion would have been fitting given the evidence. However, Tammy had a very large dark red chemical burn on one side of her face, which was explained by Karla to be carpet burn from them trying to do CPR and moving her from the bed. For whatever reason, this was dismissed during the investigation, but would be investigated at a later date.
They're two different colors. Chemical burns and carpet burns are two different colors. I know that.
Shortly after the funeral, they moved to St. Catharines after being kicked out.
But they just kind of swept it under the rug because between the vomit and the foaming would discolor your skin because the stomach acid on top of the rug burn.
Yeah. And
they
again,
don't want to cause any more trauma.
It was the 90s too, so they didn't know.
They don't know what we know now.
Right.
Yeah. So, and now we're getting into the tapes. Okay. So there is actually a documentary done called The Ken and Barbie Killers. The Lost Tapes Are Found. I highly recommend you watch it. It is very interesting. They don't show the tapes, but some of the more like safer parts, they let you listen to.
Safer parts?
Yeah. So the parts where you don't hear like the active like rape happening, you'll hear them laughing or giggling or, going back and forth like, oh, we should do this next.
I know what I'm watching today before the Super Bowl.
So Paul and Karla had filmed their crimes, obviously, leaving undeniable evidence that they were responsible for the deaths. However, not all of the tapes were recovered by the cops.
Oh!
Because she did manage to destroy some of them.
So, on the 21st of February, police recovered one of the tapes when they gained access to the property via the warrants. This was Paul and Karla assaulting Jane Doe. More tapes that the police did not find had been hidden in the house. Paul hid the tapes within the property containing evidence of the rape and murders of Tammy, Leslie, and Christine. On May 6th, he instructed his lawyer to collect the 6 hidden tapes that were above the bathroom light fixture. He had hid them in the ceiling. He then instructed him under no circumstances should he watch them until after May 18th.
What happened on May 18th?
The trial, probably.
I think it was the trial. So John Rosen takes over the case after his last lawyer quits.
His lawyer quit.
Wonder why.
His last lawyer quit on September 12th of 94 over a dispute about destroying the tapes. So
shocker.
Paul wanted him to destroy him, and his lawyer was like, no. And he was like, well, you can't hand that over. I'm not going to let you. Well, because blah, 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 lawyer stuff, he couldn't. His client said no, so he can't. So this one was like, I'm not even going to tell him. And he just hands over the tapes to the cops.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they got them. They disappeared, and all of a sudden the cops had them.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I had no idea.
So the cops are now aware of everything. But because Karla was already being charged with manslaughter for the 2 girls and taking a plea deal, they weren't sure if they could add more to her sentence or if they were going to get like a double jeopardy kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
So when requested, they later denied being able to add anything to her sentence due to Karla suffering PTSD, which was affecting her memory. So it wouldn't technically be reliable enough in court.
Reliable.
PTSD.
Air quotes. Jesus Christ.
So his trial he was found guilty on everything. Everything. He got 25 he got life plus 25 years.
God damn.
And he's in a penitentiary where he is on a 23-hour lockdown as a high-risk offender. He only sees the sun 1 hour a day.
Good.
He is in 95, he attended a dangerous offenders hearing where he pleaded guilty to all of his crimes again, including taking responsibility for his sister-in-law's death. He was found to be a significant risk due to the seriousness of his crimes and was classified as a dangerous offender, meaning he will remain incarcerated with no chance of parole or release indefinitely.
Good.
He will never come out.
That's what we like.
I like this case study. They got a behavioral analysis on this.
Ooh, give me the details.
So there's been many theories put forward about, was she a battered wife? Was she an equal participant? Did she enjoy it? Did she not? Was she under duress?
Mm-hmm.
This case today is just going to breakdown is going to focus only on the behaviors and situations that there are evidence for. It is not a diagnosis, but a possible explanation of their behaviors based on what is currently understood from their crimes. So from the start, she was head over heels for Paul, would do anything, which then leads to love. We see evidence in this way by the way she talks about him to friends and family. He was Ken. He was Prince Charming. He was perfect. Beautiful, smart in every way.
Little did she know.
Being only 17 when they met and him being 6 years her senior, she always seemed to be in awe of him and always eager to please. Due to his seniority, he assumed the dominant role in their relationship pretty easily. He was a very confident person who was charismatic, focused, and came across as a likable person on the surface. But everyone knew that there was always something
wrong with him.
Quite right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Karla seemed happy with the arrangement, although she got very anxious at the thought that she might lose him especially to another woman. She was a very jealous woman, and this was in the forefront of all of her emotions, which was a possible reason for her decision making. She displays this flawed decision many times in her bouts of jealousy over Paul's attraction towards young teenage girls, for example.
1 second. I gotta get a blanket. Hold on.
No, you're good. I've got to grab some water anyway. So she feels like he was only with her because of her age, and now that she got older, he's looking for like fresher meat. I hate that.
Well, and so I saw that he apparently
don't
throw it
get.
in her face that she owed it to him to do these things because she wasn't a virgin.
Yeah.
Wait,
Their whole
I'm sorry. What
relationship.
did I miss?
Yeah, so it kind of feels like she was worried that he would trade her in for like the newer model when she like the younger person. So she was always worried about that, and she was saying that
he would throw it in her face that because she wasn't a virgin, their whole relationship, that she owed it to him to do these things.
Whoa, no.
And so that's why she gifted her little sister.
So anyone listening, that is a red flag. Fucking run.
Right.
If you're 16 and they're 26 and going, "Oh, you're so mature for your age."
No.
No.
That's called grooming.
Stop that.
That's called grooming.
No.
Run away.
That's called grooming. Run away. If a guy says he can't find anybody his age because they're not mature enough, it's because they can't find anybody their age that actually thinks that they're actually mature enough, if that makes sense. Like the dude's not actually mature enough because he's a walking red flag.
Exactly.
You are not your body. You are worth more than what people put a label on you.
Thank you.
If you're a virgin, cool. If you're not, also cool. It does not diminish or improve your value because you are not an object.
Also, we support all types of work.
Hi, I'm a spicy worker.
I used to be.
So, stranger danger.
Yes.
Yes.
So, because of that, back on track.
Back on track.
This could possibly explain her willingness to co-op. Because in her mind, it seems like if she allows him to satisfy these urges, not only will he stay with her, but he'll also value her for meeting his desires.
What?
And making her a better option for him in the long run. So it's like, oh, if I can diminish them and seem on his side.
In what way does that make sense? The math ain't mathing, my dude.
So studies show that sexual jealousy can really impact a person's decision making due to their perceived ideas of how that rival makes them look in comparison. Their overwhelming desire to be better than a person they perceive to be their love rival can cause them to make decisions in bad judgment as an attempt to present themselves as a better option. So they think that's what plays a key role in how she responds to Paul as he makes even more extreme requests. And she seems to be able to go to extreme lengths to make sure she can keep him interested and reduce her anxiety about her perceived love rivals. I'm getting older and they're staying the same age kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Paul is calculating and manipulative. You see this in the way he befriends those close to him, creating intimate relationships with these people. He uses violence, intimidation, and emotional threats to gain control of his victims. We know from his multiple rape convictions outside of his relationship with Karla, totaling 11 rapes, not to include Tammy, Leslie, Kristen, and 4 attempted rapes.
So wait, he was already a rapist.
He was the Scarsborough rapist.
So that wasn't just like a funny little nickname he made for himself. He was actually, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he demonstrated how he's remorseless. He was heard in court explaining how the girls are just additional props to him, like handcuffs are in a sex game. He saw no value in his victims. He just saw them as toys to destroy as he pleased. He had no empathy or sympathy for his victims. Over a span of 4 years, from 87 to 91, he went on a raping spree, destroying many girls' lives. However, the only girls that lost their lives in the hands of Paul were those involved with Karla. So it suggests that Karla was the motivating drive to him to murder Lisa and Leslie and Christine. So it was like if you loved me, you wouldn't do anything else. So you just kill him.
What in the ever-loving fuck?
Whether it's because she was involved, so his excitement was heightened at the presence of a willing accomplice in him to do something more extreme, or because something she did while they were committing the acts that caused them to react differently, could be some reason behind the difference in the outcome of crimes. He was known to be very structured and rigid in what he liked. He had Karla write a list of things she could and couldn't do, showing an element of control that he had over her. He was a prolific offender, a dangerous sexual predator, especially to young teenage girls. He had showed no signs of slowing his crimes down, and the extremities that got them increasingly worse over time. He reflected this controlling nature in the tapes many times, telling his victims to smile, look happy, and get angry when they don't obey him. Karla is also seen smiling in the videos, giving the impression she enjoyed herself, which raised many questions of whether she was being forced to smile or genuinely smiling because she was enjoying herself with Paul. It was Paul would later claim she was genuinely enjoying herself and would say it many times.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't either.
And because of that statement, that's why there are so many people like, she's not a battered wife. One of the statements that she says that casts doubt on the theory of battered wife syndrome is something she said during an interview where she discussed being more upset about the champagne glasses than, concerns for the victim's safety. That's not an action that someone who feels genuine remorse for their crimes would have done.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Another example for not fitting would be
Uh-oh.
it was the cat.
Oh, okay.
Would be when she wrote a letter to a friend like a week or so after Tammy's murder. Her family was still grieving, and all she was bothered about is her wedding fund being cut to help pay for her sister's funeral. The sister she killed.
Wait, hold on. She's angry. She's angry that they had to take money out of her wedding fund.
Yeah.
To...
So this is the letter that she wrote to her friend.
I gotta
Dear
hear
Deb,
this.
Dear Deb, fuck my parents. First, they took away half of the wedding money, then kicked us out. My father doesn't even want us having a wedding anymore. Screw that. We're having a good time. If my father wants to sit at home and be miserable, he's welcome to. He's only worked a day since Tammy died. He's wallowing in his own misery.
She wrote
He's
this to
mourning
her?
the loss of a child.
Right.
That doesn't seem like a battered wife.
No.
That seems like a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, if it looked like a bitch, And it
If
sounds
the
like
shoe
a
Lace that
bitch.
shit up.
If the shoe fits.
Lace that shit up.
Shit.
Another thing is when Kristen was left alone while Paul went to run errands, she didn't attempt to free her. Like, go, go, go. Run, be free. She tried to befriend her. Like,
That's
she even describes her relationship with Christine as friendly, saying that they did each other's makeup and chatted during a police interview tape of 93. She explained that she felt sad when Kristen died because she felt like they had bonded. Oh. And still displayed no remorse for doing it and wasn't sorry that Kristen was killed, just the fact that she had, grown fond of her and felt loss again for losing a friend.
She got a screw loose in her head.
Yeah.
a screw, a couple of marbles.
They just all pinging around in there.
Just pinging around.
So that's about it. Mostly the last bit of this is just saying, in conclusion, it's mostly they both had a hell of a hand in this.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, what is this?
Is there an update?
Karla, check out the very accurate depiction of the Ken and Barbie Killers film Karla, released in 2006. It sticks to the facts of the case, and casting the characters is very well done. It's a brilliant film for anyone interested.
So she came out with her own movie?
No, the movie is called Karla, the Ken and Barbie Killers.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute this so we don't get another wow.
Oh,
And I'm
while
just
she
gonna.
does that. So
Oh yeah, the casting is
Karla.
pretty good. Oh, that's the bitch from Grey's Anatomy.
Which one? Because I just started binge watching it. The main character, Meredith? Okay, don't laugh at me. Oh, yes.
That is who's playing Karla.
Okay, that's fitting. I mean, they're both very pretty. What were you saying, Rachel?
No, wait.
Huh?
No, wait, that's not Karla. That's. No, they got Misha Collins to play Paul.
Oh my god!
Okay, but I mean, it is fitting. He does play a good.
He's a good actor.
He's a very good actor. Very funny.
Okay, so Karla is married and has a couple of children.
Mm-hmm.
She was denied changing her name to something that would have been more commonplace. Since then, because the her children's fellow students' parents and administration and everything, they don't feel safe with
A murderer.
yeah
Oh, I did hear about
Coming.
that.
coming dropping her kids off and picking them back up. She now lives separated from her children and her husband elsewhere, so that way her kids have a chance at a normal life.
I mean, it's nice that she did that to her kids, but what about all of the other kids that didn't get a second chance?
Yeah. But she is 53 now.
Oh. That's...
Yeah, right here. Volunteering at a Christian elementary school. Convicted serial killer found volunteering at a Christian elementary school. Inside Edition.
Inside Edition. Good 90s TV show.
Yeah, this is from a couple years ago.
Okay, so not only was she a convicted rapist, kidnapper, and murderer, she was released early, got remarried, had kids, and then volunteered at their school and thought it would be fine.
Apparently, when she would be in the hospital in labor, a lot of the nurses refused to have anything to do with her.
Good.
Like, they refused to treat her or, have her on their rounds, anything.
I worked in a hospital. It was the only hospital in the area that was close to the jail. Like, the closest prison was like 2 hours away, but the city jail was like 3 blocks away. It wasn't far.
Yeah.
I can't tell you a number of times that I was the only medical assistant on staff that worked nights. Like, that's where I did part of my internship. And it was a great hospital, but there was one night a nurse came and woke me up. I'm in the, clinic sleeping. She comes in, wakes me up. She goes, "I know you don't give a shit. I need you to draw blood on this guy." And I was like, "How bad?" And she goes, "You're going to know." Like, they all knew what I was, and they didn't bat an eye at it, but she's like, "You're going to know. You're going to need to turn it off." And I walked in there and I immediately felt violently ill and like I was going to vomit. And I found out later that he was like a convicted rapist and pedophile, and nobody wanted to touch these people. I don't blame them. I don't at all. I don't blame them at all. But, the thing with medical is do no harm first. You have to throw your precedents. Unfortunately, you have to throw your precedents out the window because they're a patient first, a monster second.
Yes.
I know your doctor sister has to contend with that.
Mm-hmm.
I know she doesn't like it.
Well, she does pediatrics, so
Yeah.
It's more of a lot of times she wants to cause harm to the parents.
Oh yeah, I feel that.
So then the kids, because of stupid shit. But
right,
some people just shouldn't become parents.
Every child deserves a parent. Not every parent deserves a child.
Amen to that.
That's true. That is very true.
Oh.
What else you find?
More juicy gossip.
They tried to put out a publication ban of the Bernardino trial.
They tried to Hold on. Really?
Yeah, so I'm looking at my other, so this is the McKinley Law. This is my original one. So to try and keep things from going like too public, they tried to request to keep the whole trial under wraps.
Okay.
And it did not work. It was denied. Whatever merits of protecting it, like, did not work. It had already been exposed. Too many things had been leaked. Yeah, Canada was like, too bad. Deal with it.
Damn.
And the ban proved to generate further interest in the already sensational case. So the opposite happened. They were trying to like keep it low key, like, okay, let's try not to like publicize this. Maybe it'll get swept under. But because they tried to ban it,
people
like ban anyone from talking about it, they were like, hey,
look at that.
What's
something
that over
shiny.
There?
It's very much a squirrel moment. Shiny.
It's
excuse me.
Hey kids, don't look over there. Everybody turns.
So yeah, that was. He's still.
Is he still in 23 hour? Like,
yeah, he's still in 23.
As he should be.
Right.
And according to this, he has he cannot be around other, so typically with high risk offenders, sometimes like every 2 or 3, like they'll put 2 or 3 in the yard together just for at the same time to make it easier to rotate him. He cannot be in the yard with anyone.
So he's in complete solitary confinement.
Isolation.
Because the one time they tried to do it, he ended up in the medical.
Because he got jumped.
What?
He's a chomo.
There are many things they do not care for.
That is great
Now,
news. That is great
I don't
news.
know if that's hearsay. That's just according to what I found. I hope it's true because
It's most likely, yes.
I hope someone pulled something out of their prison pocket and just
Their potato
I'm
stasher.
quite sure they probably did. Their potato masher.
Ooh.
But yeah. So she is volunteering. She still does so, but now it's like not at like the bigger public things. It's more like behind the scenes. Ooh.
What'd you find now?
Something shiny.
A link to some of the tapes that aren't copywritten.
So is it copyright free?
I think. Hold on.
We'll have to.
She gonna find out.
I got you. You just.
What does that look for?
I clicked the transcript
Uh-huh.
and just the.
You can read the transcript.
So the transcript is, all right, wait, what are you thinking? There, hey, baby, to go. Oh, wait, hold on. I think this is. Hold on, let me.
She just muted herself.
I mean, that was probably the easiest way.
Probably, more than likely.
And by the look on her face.
Oh my. So her face just went, oh! Your sister just
Jaw
tried
on
being
the ground, just horror. My
horror.
sister?
Your sister, doctor sister, just
Uh-huh.
tagged me in something.
What'd she do?
She tagged me in something.
Oh.
Just a comment, nothing. Oh, that was from last night. Some of these notifications I didn't get at all because I turned my phone on silent. Because I didn't.
So you're just now getting them.
Yeah, because I didn't want to.
I know. And the last 36 hours was a lot.
Yeah, the last
Okay.
36 hours was a lot. Yes. Yes, my child.
So I don't feel comfortable playing those tapes. However,
However,
I found his
If
interview.
you choose to go and look them up yourselves, that is entirely on you. Just know we have forewarned you.
right. If you decide to look them up, they're on YouTube, right?
Yes.
The tapes are on YouTube.
I found it's Paul Bernardino, Police Interrogation of Notorious Serial Killer.
So I know you can read the transcript, but that I know for a fact is copywritten because it's in the documentary. So it is copywritten. So you can read the transcript because the transcript is not copywritten. So
Because it's just all words.
it's all words. Emily, I'm
Yes,
dying to hear it. Get it? I'm sorry. That was a bad joke.
I know it's got me in pieces. I feel like I might sink.
Damn! But
Can you identify yourself? Okay, so I'm gonna go through this and see. So they're just doing the identify yourself. Okay, this is the time. He's a very charismatic person.
Because before every um, recorded statement, they have to say who they are, the date, the time, their location, ask the person to who they are, spell their name, blah, blah, blah. I only know this because I have to do recorded statements for work.
You're trying to paint me as a liar. I'm not a liar. But you guys are trying to paint me as one to the public, the court of the public. They turned on the TV in September last year and they think I was this crazy liar. That's what the TV not only reported, but told them. They wrote it in my file. I've got to write in my cell, Paul Bernardino. Peel Regional said Paul Bernardino lied to the police about his crimes he didn't commit and said he did. Okay. I mean, that's just awful. I mean, come on, enough manipulation. You know what I mean? Either you tell the truth or don't. Otherwise, the whole purpose of any interview is just stupid. Because if I'm this crazy liar, I'll be sitting here lying to you about everything, right? Right? I mean, why wouldn't I? I am just this crazy liar.
I mean, you are crazy, though.
Right.
Yeah, you're fucking insane. So they talk about you passed your polygraph, which, okay, just so you know, guys, it's very easy to pass a polygraph. Those things, they're not even admissible in court anymore.
They're not.
Because all they do is they track your heart rate.
Right. I have a super...
That's all they do.
Right. My guy friend, he was a court reporter, and he's like, you can bring my friend Kat in here. She has a severe high pain tolerance because she has a nerve disorder. Bring her in and do a polygraph. I passed my polygraph, but he was like, lie the whole time. He's like, I'm going to know you're lying. And I passed my polygraph with flying colors.
Of course.
Because I'm constantly in pain. And they were like, if that registers because your blood pressure's always fluctuating because that's your normal.
So it looks like they're going back and asking about the Scarsborough rapes. Did you kill Elizabeth Bain in 1990? Well, that's a loaded question. I mean, are we going to go back and go through the time sequence of what happened in my life? I mean, I could just give a yes or no answer, but there's a lot of issues with that. Right. Karla's my role. Who did what, where, when, why. This is why I said, did you guys know? Did you guys, go down there to get a polygraph to see if she was telling the truth? Like, why didn't we even do that in the first place? I mean, he's polygraphing everyone in the car over the Camaro. Why would he make a deal with someone and not even give him a polygraph? It's incomprehensible to me. Because I'm sitting, my file says her version and it's a lie, and you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm not making frivolous points here. Sorry. I mean, and now you're asking me after you said Peel Regional said I'm lying about this. You're saying I'm lying about my profile. You're saying I'm lying about being better or not. Jesus, he is just very pissed about them calling him, like, them branding him as a liar.
Right.
For the fact they're calling him out on his shit, he is so pissed about it.
He's Veruca's salt.
Oh,
Daddy, I wouldn't know. No, Daddy.
Did you know these people? No. Did you know her? Not that I remember. Are you sure? No.
Sounds very flippant.
The first part of June 1990 was actually June the 1st. Karla had a doctor's appointment where she was complaining about pains on her right side. Perhaps it had something to do with the rabies shot. Does that ring any bells? None at all. Is there any part in June that you had a Nissan 240 SX? Yeah. You're making several trips to the United States June 2nd, 3rd, 10th, and 17th. I think at that point you were involved in cigarette smuggling.
What?
I guess he was a cigarette smuggler on the side.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Good Lord. Well, I gotta hear this guy's voice. Hold on. He sounds like a fucking nerd.
Like not okay. So we all heard Wayne Gacy's tapes. We heard Ed Gein's.
He sounds like a fucking nerd.
Does he sound like?
But I love how you muted yourself, listened, then all of a sudden cut back in. He sounds like a nerd.
Like an us nerd, or like a hey guys, let's play D&D, or more like a my name is Brock and I lift type of nerds.
Okay, you're gonna cut this part out.
Yes. He sounds like a gym bro.
He does, and the way he's sitting and what he's wearing.
Does he look like a gym bro? He looks like a gym bro. That is no offense to any of my friends who are indeed gym bros. I fucking love you, bras. Like, I mean, Emily's a gym bro. But, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, they automatically, I am on the phone with you. And you're sending me, Rachel.
What?
He sounds like a fucking nerd.
He does. And it's not
I
like.
just can't get over the fact he's so pissed that they caught him. And
Yes.
asking him questions to get a confession. He is so pissed about it.
He's Farouk Assault. I'm never going to get over that. I am now calling him Farouk Assault.
You called me a liar.
I'm going to tell my daddy. That's what it sounds like. I'm going to tell daddy.
Oh my god. So, if you wanted to watch the Lost Murder Tapes, Ken and Barbie Killers, it is on Discovery. You can also watch it on YouTube, but you do have to pay for it.
And then there is a documentary on Netflix called The Ken and Barbie Killers.
Yep. And then there's also on YouTube, it's a free movie that you can watch. It's called Karla. That's the one that has Misha Collins in it.
We love Misha.
We do, but he plays the role almost too well.
Oh no.
Just in like the 30 seconds that I watched, I felt dirty.
Like a BDSM good kind of dirty, or like a bad I need to bathe my body in bleach kind of dirty?
That one.
Oh,
because
no.
I felt like I was covered in grime.
Good job,
Because
Misha,
how
but
they shot
bad.
it.
Oh.
How they shot it, it looked like it was made in 2006, but they used camera equipment from like early 90s to get that aesthetic.
No.
It just so that
The image quality.
my good friends, my lovely listeners, happy Valentine's Day was the Ken and Barbie Killers.
Jesus.
That was a lot.
That was
I should go shower.
I gotta go scrub my brain now.
And my kids wonder why I don't let them walk to school even though we live a block away.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, growing up, I mean, hello, you saw the map of where I lived.
Yeah.
So, like, I lived right next door to a church and across the street from middle school. So I used to walk to and from the middle school. However, after a certain amount of time, my parents stopped walking me because 6 girls and boys got abducted. 29 kids and parents got hit by cars. And this was
Holy shit.
just a small street. They ended up, the crossing guard got skewered by a boat. This is all in the San Jose Mercury News. Yep, hold on. They
got
finally
skewered by a boat?
by a boat. This guy ran through the crossing sign There was a cross guard on one side and a cross guard on the other. And I loved this one, the one that was on this side, because whenever I would walk home from the high school, she'd always be like, hey, did you get me some beef jerky? It was an ongoing joke because I was always munching on beef jerky on the way home because I couldn't eat anything at the school cafeteria because it was all made with dairy.
Dairy.
So I would always buy beef jerky on the way home at the 7-Eleven on the corner that was in the ghetto. Because, like, it was like a street. So suburbs, ghetto. Like, just one street divided it. And I remember walking home, and like 20 minutes later, my mom's running out of the house, and I'm like right in front of the house. She's like, oh, good, you're here. And I was like, what? She goes, I got to go to work, and just took off. And I was like, what happened? And apparently she had gotten hit on that thoroughfare, and I had stopped at the church next door and was just hanging out there with my friends, and we were just eating our beef jerky and our candy. Yeah.
Completely oblivious.
Yeah. So my mom after that was like, Jack, you're dropping her off at school. Like, you're not doing this anymore. And after that, I did get dropped off, like, in the mornings, but I would have to get a ride home every night.
Obviously.
Yeah. But most of my god kids, they don't. That looks delicious.
I don't know where my phone went. Can someone, like, shoot me a text or something?
I will do that right now.
It's probably in between the seat cushions.
I like how it pops up when I type moon, moon. Moon, moon. That's
That's
Emily's
good.
nickname in my phone is Moon, Moon.
Hi, Crash. Oh, I felt it.
Ah!
Was it in between seat cushions?
I have no idea.
It's either that or it's under your butt.
It was under my butt.
Okay.
Okay.
So I remember reading this case way back in the early 2000s. In the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember reading about this case. My mom wouldn't let me continue reading it. It was in People magazine. I remember they were on the cover. And we're probably going to use that on our Instagram. But I don't remember this case. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. Hi. No.
Not the cat butt! Just straight butt.
Hi, Crash.
That was a butt. Right there.
It was a whole pink starfish.
It was the whole butt.
That was a whole butt. I don't...
And he is completely unapologetic.
He's not. No, Crush is an asshole. He knows when something's wrong,
I said
though.
unapologetic. So
Yeah.
Hey. No.
Not again! Mom, I'm already traumatized! She just muted herself. She muted herself.
No! Stop it!
So,
at this moment brought to you by
Crush.
chaotic cats and their owners.
Yes. I unfortunately
Cat butt.
I unfortunately do not have any pets. I have ghosts. They'll knock things off the walls. So, I mean,
It's kind of like having a cat.
kind of
They
like
knock
having a
things
cat.
over.
Not having one. That was disgusting. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Including the cat butt or the cat butt?
No, mine is the
I
cat.
thought you were talking about the pet. I thought you were talking.
No, you're... What is wrong with you?
You want diagnosed alphabetically or chronologically?
Huh?
Diagnosed alphabetically or chronologically?
Because same.
Here, let me unroll the list as the scroll just
So, I know we're doing things
Across the room.
differently. I know it's not our usual. But
Oh no, this was fun.
this was fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this from now on. If you have a problem, get over it. I don't give a shit. This is our podcast.
It's your podcast.
Yeah, I started it from the ground up. It took me a year to come up with the original name. So this is my baby. Kick rocks. Fuck off. But I love you two
Go
being
find
here.
something else to listen to.
Yeah, go find something else to listen to. next time, who's doing the story next time?
Oh, I have an idea.
You have an idea? Okay.
I do.
Are you going to flip a coin?
No. Okay.
I'm going to have to find my papers from, on my notes from the previous area killers that I did.
Yeah, because we're just going to put them on the back
right,
burner to do later. Not right away, because we got to save that.
You doing a spin? I will laugh if it's Trevor, because she's not even here today.
It's Rachel.
Oh!
That's fine.
Yep.
So
double spin just to make sure. Still Rachel.
So for any of the research, we'll put it
somebody else.
We'll put it in the description for the podcast. If you have any questions, it'll definitely be in there. But if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to us on our Instagram and our email, which is tpw3mpodcast. The email is at gmail.com. So have a great day, and we will talk to you later. Stay spooky.
Woo!
Stay safe.
And don't get in strangers' cars!
God,
Exactly.
please. I don't care how pretty they are.
Or how much candy or free animals they
Unless
offer you.
it's Johnny Depp.
Unless it's Ryan Reynolds. Or Matthew Mercer.
Or Matthew
I'd
Mercer.
get into a car with Matt Mercer.
I would not get in a car with Zach Bagel-Bites.
Oh, you get into a car with his hands.
Next time on the Pandemonium Witches, I saw with the corner of my eye the curtain being pulled back. My husband insisted that it was just our imagination and we were overthinking things. Forwarding this video just so you can see the video of the rocking horse, just so you can see.
No, there's proof?
There's
Ma'am.